In other words, we do it exactly the opposite of what God does. God slow to anger, us fast to anger. God quick to release anger, us wanting to hold on to it forever. And in that quick to anger, holding on to it forever, therein we find the opportunity for great, great sin. So, we want to follow God's example. How do we do that? Godly example number one, and you should know this already, right? You follow it. We have to express our anger slowly. Tall order. Express our anger slowly. And many of these verses, I've had some fun picking these out. There are so many of them, but I just picked out three that's kind of my favorite. Let's take a look at these together. Slowness to anger makes for deep understanding, but a quick-tempered person stockpiles stupidity. You want to stockpile? This is not just saying you're stupid. It's saying you're just saving up the stupidity, man. You got stupid on top of stupid on top of stupid. All right? That's what happens when you're quick to anger. Or this, Proverbs 15:18. A quick-tempered person stirs up dissension, but one who is slow to anger calms a quarrel. Wouldn't you love to be that person who, instead of responding as people expect you to respond, could respond with slow to anger, and in that slowness to get mad, you just calm the quarrel right down? Because you know it takes two. It takes at least another person to keep the quarrel going, and you don't have to do it. One of the quotes that we had up here before the service, if you saw it, was, you don't have to participate in every fight you've been invited to. Or this is maybe my favorite out of the Message, Ecclesiastes 7:9. Don't be quick to fly off the handle. Anger boomerangs. Oh, can you just picture that? Throw out that anger and it comes right back to you. Here's what I love. You can spot a fool by the lumps on his head. Some of you ought to star that. Say, I'm going to memorize that one. Anger boomerangs. You can tell a fool by the lumps on his head. And then there's so many others. You can take a look at these. I've given you a list on your own time. But the idea here is that, last week we talked about how we want to become God's masterpiece. And if we want to become God's masterpiece, then we want to become more like Him. And if God is slow to anger, then that's what we want to be too. Not only that, but godly example number two, we find that we want to release our anger quickly. We want to release our anger quickly. The best verse that we can find for this is in Ephesians 4, where we read, "Be angry and do not sin." We've looked at that already, right? How do we do that? Be angry and do not sin. Well, here it is. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil. I love that verse. Once again, we see that being angry here is not a sin, but when you're angry, that should be like a warning flag that goes up, in your mind that, hey, if I don't express my anger correctly, I could easily fall into a sin trap. The idea here is that I want to be able to deal with my anger. I want to be able to confront the issue head on. I don't want to hold on to it. I don't want to nurse it. I don't want to feed it. Once I've gotten angry, I want to be able to let it go quickly. But exactly what are we supposed to do? Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Don't hold on to it overnight. Deal with it. Here's a Phyllis Diller translation. Never go to bed mad. Stay up and fight. There's more wisdom there than what you would know. And if you learn the rules to fight, you fight fair and you fight right. You fight not to hurt, but you get it reconciled. You get it dealt with. And you wake up the next morning fresh.